Anything like that because of the flights of the ball?
No, no. You know, you adjust accordingly. Nothing really changes. In terms of fitness, obviously there's going to be moments in the game where we may not be able to press the way we'd like to, at certain times. But in saying that, we're fit, we feel good, we're ready. We know it's going to be a tough game on the road, and regardless of altitude or heat or weather conditions, we'll fight through it and we'll be ready.
Those diagonals that you make, like 40 yards up the field to break the press, that's what I was thinking about. If you have to take a little bit off of those to keep them from sailing.
Yeah, I mean, it's with anything, right? Like the size of the pitch, the altitude, it is what it is. I've played there a few times, so hopefully I keep the ball in bounds more often than not.
What's the feeling with Darlington being back in training? It's kind of the lift of the team, do you feel?
Yeah, I mean, listen, he's obviously a highly talented player and somebody that's important for us. So to have him back is a bonus, and he's looked sharp in training. He's looked good. Again, I think that's a credit to his willingness to come back and be fit and be ready to go.
You think, I know you're not the one making the decision, but, do you think he's fit enough, sharp enough to be playing at least some minutes, maybe off the bench or something in these matches coming up this trip?
I think, for sure he's able to contribute in some capacity. What that capacity is, obviously, as you mentioned, right? That's up to Tata. So, like I said, I think in the last couple of days he's looked good in training. He's got the same buzz about him that he had before he's injured, so it's good to see him out there smiling and playing.
Have you seen any examples of tension or stress or anything in the locker room or on the pitch since these reports about Martino's future have come out?
Nope.
Everything just business as usual?
Yep.
What do you think when you see those?
It's part of being a part of a successful team and organization. People are always going to be talking, be it about managers, be it about players coming in, players going out. There's always conversations being had, and that's what happens when you are around and affiliated with top talent. Like I said, coaches, players, going in, going out. There's always going to be talk and discussions about guys.
So from the trip to Colorado, you also got to go out to San Jose and play that late night game. Like, you talk about Colorado playing with the altitude. Is it also a thing, or is it overblown that playing that late night West Coast game is just kind of harder on the body?
Yeah, it is what it is. You've got to find a way to deal with it. Make sure you try and get as much recovery and rest as possible. Make sure you're up for it come kickoff, and for those 90 minutes, you're not thinking about what time of night it is. You're not thinking about anything else other than trying to win and do things on the field to help the team win. So, be it the altitude, be it the late kickoff, be it the weather, you're not thinking about those things once you cross the white line.
One other altitude question. Do shots tend to dip or bend differently in the thin air? You see it sometimes in baseball, like guys that slider don't really snap in Colorado. Does that happen for you guys too?
Yeah, again, it's all part of it. So the ball, tends to move a bit more, flies a bit farther. It is what it is. We're not going to go there to adjust the altitude and lower it. So, we've got to find a way to deal with it. And after 90 minutes, hopefully we'll have 3 points and it won't be a topic of discussion. So that'll be good.
Is there any kind of added pressure for you, considering that these are two teams that are lower down the table in the Western Conference and they feel like must-win games, kind of keep pace in Supporters Shield?
I think regardless of who we're playing, they're almost must-win games. They have that feel to it just because of where we are. And when you're fighting for something real, games become that much more important. And so for us, they're regardless of teams where they're at in terms of the table, that has no effect on us. It's about how we approach these games and how we apply ourselves for 90 minutes in both of these games. Like I said, regardless of who we're playing.
Anything else for Brad?
Yeah, I have a question about Tim Howard. Obviously, he's on the other side for Colorado. What was your first interaction with him, and You guys have had mirror careers. It seems like you both played internationally, you've played domestically. Just talk about having a counterpart like that and just seeing your careers kind of go to similar paths.
Yeah, I mean, I think my first interaction was probably when we were in with the national team together. Obviously him and I have got a good relationship, friends off the pitch. To see what he's been able to do in the game, it's been tremendous. To be a part of a lot of special moments with him in terms of what we're able to do over the years with the national team, with going back to before 2010. So it's been quite some time. So to see him now in Major League Soccer, obviously, probably at some point coming towards the end of his career, you're appreciative of all the moments that we were able to share together.
What did you think about the Miazga moment in the Mexico game?
Yeah, we were talking about that at breakfast this morning. I don't know. We've all been a part of these games, these Mexico-U.S. games. Of course, they're heated. I get it from you say sportsmanship point of view, but at the same time, these are moments that you ultimately can look back and you could say that 2 minutes later there's a red card, change the game, and ultimately the U.S. won the game. So whether you view it as a good thing, as a childish thing, that's for everyone to make up their own mind and own decision. But for me, you're going to have these moments in these games. It is what it is.
All right, thanks, guys.